Marcus wiped sweat from his brow as he mopped the silent, empty floor. He watched the city lights flicker through the high windows of the abandoned factory. Most people saw just another job, but Marcus knew this place held a dark secret. His heart raced when he noticed strange chemical stains glowing faintly on the wet tiles. The smell of rotting fish drifted from the open sewer, leading straight to their river home. He remembered his mother's warning about never ignoring signs that threatened our community water supply. Marcus grabbed his phone camera, hoping to capture proof before security could arrive tonight. Shadows danced wildly across the walls as distant thunder rolled overhead in the stormy night. Every step he took felt heavier, knowing corporate hands were dumping poison nearby right now. The clock ticked loudly, marking seconds that counted down toward his inevitable discovery by management. Tonight would be different because Marcus refused to let another generation drink contaminated water. Marcus stood alone in the dark riverbank, watching glowing barrels splash into black water. He knew these, labeled hazardous containers, held chemicals that could poison everyone downstream for years. His flashlight beam cut through fog to reveal workers loading more toxic waste onto trucks. The sound of splashing liquid echoed loudly against his promise never to let this happen again. Marcus remembered the clean streams he used to enjoy before corporate greed ruined everything so fast. He grabbed his camera while hiding behind a pile of rotting logs near the river edge. Every second counted as management approached, with sirens blaring through the quiet night air around him. The janitor felt fear grip his heart, but refused to back down from this dangerous situation. His trembling hands adjusted the lens to capture proof before anyone noticed his presence at all. Marcus realized tonight would be different because he finally had enough evidence to expose their crimes. He pressed record hard, knowing that saving the river meant risking everything for justice tomorrow. Marcus walked into the office where two managers waited with a thick envelope. They told him that signing this paper would secure his job forever. A massive bonus sat inside, offering thousands of dollars to stay silent. The non-disclosure agreement demanded he delete all photos and walk away quietly. Marcus stared at the glowing screen while watching toxic sludge flow into water. He realized that accepting money meant becoming complicit in destroying our environment. Their legal team warned him to leave immediately or face termination without pay. The room felt cold as they tried to buy his conscience with cash. Marcus refused the offer and grabbed his phone instead of signing anything. He knew that fighting this battle would cost him everything he owned today. Tomorrow would decide if justice could survive against corporate greed in court. Marcus refused to sign off on the illegal dump that night. Security guards dragged him out while shouting about immediate termination. He was officially fired before he could collect his final paycheck. Humiliated and homeless, Marcus stumbled away from the burning factory lights. His trembling hands slipped a hidden camera into his empty pocket just as they pushed him forward. The guards laughed at their new employee while admitting to dumping toxic sludge in the river. Their voices, captured clearly on tape, confirmed that greed had cost them everything. Marcus walked through rain-slicked streets, knowing tomorrow would be a battle for justice or ruin. Corporate lawyers tried to erase his name, but could not delete the digital evidence he saved. He vowed that the truth about their crime scene would finally see daylight soon enough. The weight of exposure pressed down hard as night turned into an uncertain dawn. Marcus woke up with a cold sweat as threats filled his mind. Executives warned that his entire family would lose their local jobs soon. They claimed the river pollution was just bad luck for everyone involved. Fear gripped Marcus tightly while he stared at the empty dark room. He refused to let them silence him through threats against innocent people. The company tried to buy his fear with promises of future security. Marcus realized that playing their game would only destroy his loved ones too. Determined to stop the toxic dumping, he began gathering more digital proof. His hands shook, but his resolve remained unbreakable against corporate intimidation tactics. He knew exposing this crime scene was the only way forward now. The battle for justice had officially begun despite their scary threats today. Marcus opened his laptop while hiding behind a stack of boxes. He uploaded the photos showing toxic sludge flowing into the dark river. An anonymous email containing the proof was sent to federal regulators immediately. His hands shook as he watched the upload progress bar fill up slowly. The corporation thought they could bury this crime deep underground forever. Now their dirty secrets would be broadcast across every news network online. He felt a strange mix of fear and relief washing over him. Regulators promised to investigate the allegations within 24 hours flat. Marcus packed his belongings quietly, knowing he had only minutes left here. The battle for justice was finally shifting from shadows into bright light. Tomorrow would bring either arrest or a desperate final stand against them. Apex Chemicals faced an immediate federal investigation that morning. Neighbors reported seeing suspicious trucks leaving the factory at night. Former employees stepped forward with evidence of hidden toxic dumping. The EPA agents arrived just as security guards tried to flee. My secret recordings played over loudspeakers across the entire parking lot. Apex executives watched in horror from their locked glass office tower. The river water began glowing under the bright floodlights of dawn. Journalists descended upon the scene like a swarm of angry bees. Legal teams scrambled to defend a company that could not be saved. Justice finally caught up with those who poisoned our local waters. This victory proved one janitor can stop an empire in ruins. Former workers realized their safety was compromised by corporate greed. Anger spread quickly through the factory floor as secrets were revealed. Security guards refused to protect a company built on toxic lies. Machinery ground to a halt, while employees demanded immediate justice for all. The boss tried to flee, but found his own staff blocking every exit path. Strikes paralyzed operations and forced the corporation into public shame instantly. Neighbors cheered loudly as news of the shutdown reached their quiet streets today. Legal teams finally secured evidence that proved intentional environmental destruction beyond doubt. The once powerful empire crumbled under the weight of its own unethical choices made years ago. Community leaders celebrated a victory where ordinary people stood against industrial corruption without fear now. History will remember this day when workers chose integrity over blind obedience to bad orders. Public outrage forced authorities to seize the corrupt executives immediately. The corporation faced massive fines that wiped out their entire fortune. Judges sentenced the leaders to prison for disposing of toxic waste illegally. Local fish populations recovered as clean water flowed through the river again. Community members celebrated seeing justice served without fear or hesitation today. History will remember this moment when ordinary workers chose integrity above all else. The janitor stood proudly, knowing his actions protected both people and nature forever. Corrupt businesses learned that transparency eventually destroys their criminal schemes completely. Future whistleblowers now have a powerful example to follow in tough times ahead. This victory proves that standing up for truth always yields the best outcome finally. Everyone agreed that protecting our environment matters more than any corporate profit margin.